Hola, mi gente, and welcome to Juntos con Eli Castro, brought to you by AARP. I'm Mikey O, and this is the real Mikey O, Mikey Jr. Today's episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about nutrition and health and diet. Hmm? Yeah. Anyway, the things that we used to eat when we were 13 and the things that we should be eating now that we're just a little bit older. Things that are good for you and nutritional and value. That's right, la dieta. Ladies and gentlemen, juntos con Eli Castro. Enjoy and remember, juntos es posible. Gracias.
Welcome to Juntos with Eli Castro, brought to you by AARP, where today we will be discussing food and nutrition. Two words that don't necessarily go together, right? Because when you think of food, you think of comida. That's easy, right? Tengo hambre, dame comida. ¿Cuánta hambre tengo? A la, pues dame a lot of comida, right? Because you think about it, you're like, the better the food tastes, it's usually like the worse it is for you, right? But you don't realize that until you start getting older y como que you're not digesting the food right. And it's like, como que el flan is not agreeing with me, right? So you start to like graduate to thinking about like nutrition. And nutrition is not a good word because it sounds like homework, right? Nutrition, right? Work. Because usually with nutrition, comes the word diet. And diet is an ugly word, right? Because nobody wants to be that person at a party and they go, hey, you want to try a flan? And you go, no, estoy en dieta. Oh my God, está en dieta. ¿Qué pasó? What did the doctor say? You okay? Is it a medical thing? And you're like, I don't want to get into it. No, no, is it serious? Porque el vecino de al lado, he went on a diet and last week he died. And you're like, no, it's not that serious. Pues, then why are you in a diet? And you're like, stop asking, why are you in a diet? And you're like, because tengo esta pipa, okay? It's a big, I got a gut. That's why it's almost better not to tell people you're in a diet, right? I just tell people I'm in training, right? I go, no, I can't hit that flan right now. I can't because I'm in training, tú sabes. And they're like, oh, training, mira que nice. Now, I know that usually when you think of diets, you think of people that are like really overweight, right? Okay, I'm not 600 pounds, but all of us have got to lose some weight. I don't care if it's 6 pounds or 600 pounds. We all got to lose some weight, right? So we got to watch what we eat. Don't do what I used to do, which is like, you know what? Yo voy a comer lo que me dé la gana, okay? And I'm going to eat hasta que me duela. That was like, the alarm, right? Like, I'm really focused. I'm having trouble breathing. Maybe I should stop. Espérate, let me get one more, right? Pero now I got to watch what I eat and then I got to exercise because you have to. You have to combine the two. You got to exercise, right? So I used to like go running because I was like, that's a quick little cardio. Voy a sudar, right? And so I signed up for a 5K and I started running 1, 2, 3 miles. Pero what they didn't tell me was that you should check the temperature, ¿verdad? Before you go running. I went running in 87-degree weather, and let me tell you something. Eso duele. You understand what I'm saying? Like, your body will start telling you. It will start giving you messages like, I think you should stop, right? And you're like, oh, that's just a cramp. That's not a cramp. That's a signal your internal organs are sending you. Pero you're like, no, no, you know what? I gotta sweat it out. I ate too many cookies last night, and your body's like, I don't care how many cookies you ate. You about to die. So you start slowing down. And I must have not looked good because cars were slowing down. ¿Tú me entiendes? They were like, mira este, is he okay? Hey, you all right? And you too tired to even say this. So you're like, ha, 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 ha. And that looks bad. So now I'm attracting a parade of cars, right? And I'm trying to stay focused. But the more I fought through it, the closer to death I got. I had vultures flying above me, okay? They were happy. They were circling. They were like, oh, mira este, look, mira, mira. It won't be long now. It won't be long. So when you try to sweat it out, you could do it, but just check the temperature, okay? Before you go out running for miles at a time, just check the temperature, check the humidity level, okay? I never scrolled that low on my temperature app, okay, until I suffered heat stroke. Then I was like, okay, maybe I should think this through before I kill myself again, okay? Then I signed up for a marathon. ¿Pa qué fue eso? Let me tell you something. My body was so mad at me for signing up for a marathon. My body was so mad at me for trying to run a marathon that it started ejecting my toenails. It started rejecting my toenails. ¿Tú me entiendes? Like I started losing toenails. I lost 3 toenails. Okay? And people were like, oh, that's because you're running wrong and you're putting a lot of pressure on your toes and all that, force, tumba la uña. And I'm like, no, I think my body is sending me a signal. My body was like, listen, you've had this toenail all your life. You're going to lose it. Okay. And you're going to keep losing body parts until you stop running. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should listen. Right. So I listened. I ran the marathon and then I apologized to my body and told my body I would never do it again. So listen, this is what you got to do. YouTube. Okay. YouTube. Because YouTube's got like all kinds of videos from like the real crazy exercises to like moderate and like beginner level. Focus on beginner level, okay? I like to do HIIT workouts because it sounds fancy. I'm going to do a HIIT. HIIT is high intensity interval training. The best part about HIIT is that you don't follow the lead guy. You follow the person in the back doing the modifications. Yeah. Insider trick, okay? Modification is just a fancy word for colo suave, okay? Mira, relax. So don't focus on the trainer, focus on the one in the back and just follow their movements. Just be like, yeah. Because the leader, he's on a death wish. You understand? Like he wants to die by the end of the workout. But the person in the back is trying to live through it. Like you, right? So you just go like that. And when he's yelling, 10 more, you go, está bien, esto es fácil. I don't even know why he's struggling. You know what I mean? This is nice. And you can do those HIIT workouts in your room, in your living room. I do mine in the garage, right? I open the garage door, so that, let more air in. And it's nice. The bad part is that essentially you're putting on a show. Because, I got cars, coming around. And of course, they're looking at me doing lunges. And it's not pretty, okay? My lunge is not pretty, okay? That should not be. I'm never going to show you it because it's horrible. And cars slow down. And they're like, mira, that's a lunge? ¿Qué es eso? Mira, he doesn't get it. He's still at it. Pero it helps because I get a little sweat in, right? I work out my food. And the key is I'm trying to cut down on the junk food. See, because to me, junk food has always been healthy. Why? Because it makes me happy. ¿Me entiende? Pero then I realized, esta junk food que me hace tener la pipa. Okay, it took me many years to figure it out, pero maybe I shouldn't eat 10 cookies. Maybe just, 2. But don't take it from me how important food is. Take it from a professional chef.
Hello, I'm Yari Vargas, and I am the executive chef owner of Casa Yari here in Chicago on the Logan Square neighborhood. Today we're going to be talking about the alternative healthy eating. Today I am going to showcase a recipe made with sweet potato. There is chicken, light sour cream, avocado, and fresh herbs. So one of the benefits of sweet potatoes is actually it's an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and it's also high on fiber. So it's 7 grams of fiber per serving. It's also has benefits to support immune system and keep your diabetes sugar at normal. Also chicken, we use the chicken breast, which has no fat, and also has high proteins. And the avocado, as you know, it's a power food. Everybody loves avocado. I personally love it on everything. So the texture of the creaminess of both the avocado and the sweet potato goes well together. I do the 50% low-fat sour cream. You can use any sour cream of your preference. There's different types of oils that are healthy for you, but make sure when you use these oils that you have to make sure that the labels do say that they are good for high heat cooking. The avocado oil is what I use for this recipe. So what I did with the sweet potato, I cleaned it up, I sliced it in half, and then I massaged it with the olive oil, salt, pepper, and then baked it in the oven for about 15-20 minutes at 375 on a convection oven. If you don't have a convection oven, it will take a little longer to bake. While you're baking, I recommend to start poaching your chicken breast. I did one chicken breast, and it gives her about 3 of these sweet potatoes. After you poach it, don't discard the chicken broth because you will be using it, and you can even use it later on to make a soup with it. But reserve a little portion for it. Dice up, shred it, whatever consistency you prefer with your chicken, do that. In a skillet, you're gonna put a little bit of avocado oil, the red onions, fresh parsley. You can use cilantro, but I prefer parsley because it gives it an earthy flavor combination with the sweet potato. Add the kosher salt. After you put those salt, I do this little combination of dry dill, oregano, and I do granulated garlic. I mix that up and I pour it on top, little dash, and then just mix it all up. And then I use that chicken broth that I told you that earlier to save a little bit of it, because chicken breast could be a little dry if you overcook it. So you want to make sure you put a little bit of that broth to maintain it moist. After you see the liquid kind of like reducing, then you know it's ready to start building your sweet potato. Smash a little bit the sweet potato in the center, kind of like doing a little dent, so you can be able to put the chicken in there. Then you put drizzle or dollop of that light sour cream, diced avocado, and then put the parsley on top. And that's ready to enjoy. Thank you for watching. I'm Yari Vargas. #Casa Yari, and remember, Juntos es posible.
So this is Emeline Ramos, la doctora.
Hi, everyone.
What'd you think of that recipe?
That looks delicious, and I cannot wait to try it at home for us.
I mean, it looks doable.
It looks very doable, and I like sweet potatoes. We all love chicken.
Oh.
I love sour cream, and avocado goes with everything. So if you put it all together, I think it's going to be a great combination.
So you have us in this training regiment that involves kind of watching what we eat.
We are definitely watching what we eat, eating healthier, choosing healthier options, less processed foods.
Right. But it gets complicated like with leftovers, right? Because in the past, right, we could just have whatever's left over,
Right.
and you put it in microondas, you beep, 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 and then you eat it, yeah. But now everything, you got to weigh it and you got to calculate it because you got us putting in numbers, right?
Yeah, we use an app on our phone that helps us track our calories, our carbohydrates, our fats,
Mira.
protein. Yeah, look at that's you measuring your leftovers. So I said, I ordered some takeout for you. And I said, as soon as you get it, measure it out. Don't eat it all because it's too much.
But look, I don't even look happy.
No, I know you don't look happy, but you're going to feel good. And once you see those numbers come down on that scale.
Yeah, well, yeah, pero I was looking at that chicken coming down on that scale. And, this is a lot of homework because now you got to okay, it's 3 ounces. I don't want to go to 4 ounces.
Right.
So you got to start putting chicken back. And look, that's plátanos maduros.
You don't need to eat the whole serving of plátano maduros that they give you.
Look at that. I mean, with plátanos, listen, my grandmother once made me a plate with nothing but plátano maduros. Like it was just a mountain con jugo. And she said, mijo, dale, cómetelos todos. And I still remember that. I loved every second of it.
I'm sure you did, but as you get older, your metabolism starts to slow down and you really have to start thinking about what you're putting into your body.
So as I get older, my happiness level goes down. Because, could you imagine if I told Abuelita, hey, Abuelita, can you weigh those plátanos first before you serve them to me? Because I can't eat more than 6 ounces.
Of course not. But as Latinos, we are raised to eat everything.
Look, you see what I did there?
What?
I even took a piece of rice off the scale. Did you see that? I'm going to show you. I took a piece of rice off the scale because I didn't want it to
affect your measurements.
To affect the measurement. And that's not good.
But, as I was saying, as Latinos, we're brought up to eat everything on our plate. And we don't need to eat everything on our plate because our moms and grandmothers just keep pouring on.
I know, pero ¿qué pasa? Then you say, no, that's just one serving. Y si dejas comida, what do they say? Adiós, mira mira, ¿qué te pasa? Are you sick? Ah, ¿qué pasa? Mira he's not eating, ¿qué le pasa? Tiene a stomach condition. Mira que como el primo, ¿te recuerdas el primo que tenía calor el estómago, no comía? And now he's dead, okay? Now he's dead.
But that is just forming an unhealthy relationship with food at a young age.
An unhealthy relationship is a matter of perspective, okay? Let's not call it unhealthy. Let's call it different.
It's
right?
good to know what a portion size is and what we should be eating and not overeat.
Well, let me tell you something. What I've learned from this training regiment is that the portion size is never appropriate to my liking.
No.
It's always like what I would normally eat divided by a third. Like I get a third. I get a third of what I normally eat. Like it feels like comida de castigo. Like it feels like if you're in trouble, you're only going to get a portion size. Okay? That's what it sounds like. Okay. Mira, pues malcriado. But now all you're going to get is a portion size.
You know what? I happen to like eating like this with portion sizes because it's not a lot of calories adding up. And I get to eat frequently. Like every couple hours, every 2 to 3 hours, I'm hungry. So I get to eat again.
But my body's like, why wait a couple of hours? Just eat a couple of hours worth of food and spend that time digesting it.
No, that's the problem, is that it hurts. It hurts my stomach. It was bad for digestion. And you feel bloated. You feel uncomfortable. You don't feel comfortable in your clothes.
See, this is what happens when you live with somebody who's also in training, right? That she makes you be in training. Because you can't be like watching your portions, and because that's what happened in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
You were the one weighing, and I was the one stuffing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you were the one coming down, and I was the one going up, and I was like, "Espérate, porque I gotta slow this down."
And you never said anything for 6 weeks. I dramatically cut everything down that I was eating, and you kind of just kept eating.
Well, I was eating what you were, cutting back.
Leftover.
Yeah, what you were leaving out. I was like, scooping it up, tú sabes, like a vulture. Okay, espérate, pero healthy eating means healthy cooking, and that's not easy.
No, it's not easy. It can be time consuming.
Yes.
And it can be a little bit more expensive because you're using fresh ingredients and healthier ingredients.
And it's a process, right? So we are getting our meals from HelloFresh.
Yes, we get HelloFresh meals every week, which are very good. They're delicious, but they use a lot of oil and a lot of butter in it. So I've cut back on all of that.
You've cut back on the taste, right?
No,
Right.
because they taste delicious. You didn't notice when I made that transition from like less oil, less butter.
The key is to starve yourself so that you're so hungry, no te importa what it tastes like, you just want to eat it.
Yeah, because you want to incorporate more fruits, more vegetables, things like avocado. You have to make decisions like, okay, go to the grocery store and you like sour cream, right? Do you get the regular sour cream? No, go for the reduced fat one. It tastes the same.
You don't think that though, right? Usually like reduced fat, no, that's reduced taste.
No, it's not. And I make protein smoothies every day. And I realized that I can put whipped cream on top of my protein smoothie, but I get the whipped cream that's fat-free. So it doesn't affect like how much fat I'm eating.
I tried it and it's an acquired taste. That protein smoothie was like liquid chalk.
It wasn't.
It really was
wasn't.
rough. I mean, I'm like, I'd rather go hungry.
I've had chalkier protein smoothies, but it is an acquired taste, and you have to know what to put in it to make it healthier.
That's a whole nother level of desperation that I hope I don't get to. You know what I mean? Like if I'm having to drink a protein shake, then I'm not in a good place.
I love my protein shakes. I like the way they taste. I like when I put it in them. And also, it curbs my need to stop at like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks before work.
Yeah, but those are like happy stops. You know what I mean?
I know.
There's nothing like a smoothie from like Tropical Smoothie, right? Or Planet Smoothie.
You're right,
but really, you know what they are. They're just slushies.
Yeah, lots of calories, lots of sugar that you don't eat. You shouldn't be like replacing a meal with like a liquid like
See,
that.
I thought you were going to say you shouldn't be looking at the label.
No, you should totally look at the label, especially in the beginning, so you can learn what is it that you're putting into your body.
So you can learn the ugly truth.
This is true.
Because I'm telling you, it's a whole nother reality when you start like looking at the label. Because to me, it was always like gibberish, right? Oh, it's a lot of numbers, y que sí, y que, and that's chemistry. I didn't like chemistry. Pero now you're like, oh, how many grams?
Yeah.
Tú sabes? Because we've got this program that tells us how many grams of what we should be eating.
It keeps us accountable. We use an app on our phones where we input everything that we eat for the day, and it tells us exactly like how much fat we've eaten, how much protein, carbohydrates, and our total and our calories.
I just miss when I had a high metabolism rate and I could eat, whatever, whenever. And now it's like my body's like, you can eat that, but it's going to take us 3 days to digest it.
Yeah, those days are long gone, sweetie. We are not in our 20s anymore and consuming whatever we want to eat.
Does that mean I'm going to start drinking like Metamucil soon?
I am going to start putting some fiber into your water.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I remember when Abuelito used to drink that, and I used to be like, mira, bendito Abuelito drinking ese polvo, bendito. And me with my Malta, you know what I mean? And little did I know, he was probably stirring that polvo thinking, wiki, 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 wiki. He's probably thinking, mijo, a ti te va a dar también, te va a tocar pronto, ¿sabes? Mira esto, mira, esto va a ser para ti, ¿ok? And now, mira.
You have to find healthy alternatives. Like, I'm super excited about these, like, protein puffs that I ordered, like nacho cheese puffs that I ordered.
You don't think that that's just going to make you want to eat the real thing, though?
No, I think once I have that, it'll curb my taste, my craving for the bad stuff. I even ordered protein coffee that I'm super excited about trying.
Protein coffee? How
Yeah,
about...
it's a coffee mix, but loaded with like protein.
Just drink water.
Well, I do drink a lot of water every day, but
Pero
I
tú
mix
le echas
it.
cosas, tú le echas
I
cosas.
mix it for flavor.
Tú eres como mami. Mami cannot drink straight up water, so she has to have like flavored water.
The only way I can drink straight up water if it's really cold. But if I just kind of let it sit there, because obviously at work I just let it sit there while I'm in between patients, I have to put something in it.
Well, I'm telling you right now that as a result of this training regimen that you got us in,
yes,
you've become an amazing cook.
Thank you.
And I've seen you cook all kinds of meals, and it's the best food in town. Now, luckily for me, you make it healthy, porque what do I know, right? I just know it tastes good. But let's take a look at something you cooked today. Vamos a ver aquí.
And I love feeding you. I get a lot of satisfaction from feeding you, and I'm happy that we're finally eating healthy stuff.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm lucky that you that makes you happy, because otherwise, tú sabes, then I'd have to do the cooking, and I'm not gonna do that. Look at that; that's fancy right there.
I do want you to help me sometimes, but half the time I just want you to get out of my way.
Usually, you're happiest, and we get along the best when you're in the kitchen. Okay, what's happening here? Okay.
When I cook, all the doors in the bedrooms have to be closed because I don't like the smell of the food to be in our bedrooms. I don't want to go to bed and smell my sabana and have it smell like ground pork.
Wait, why not?
Because the bedroom's not supposed to smell like your kitchen.
Well, isn't it like, can't you see it like a nice little souvenir? Like, oh, mira, ay, sí, mira, chuleta. I remember it was so good. It was so good. And you could sleep to the thought of the amazing chuleta you just had.
No. Mm-mm.
A little smell like that. They should make scented candles, like chuleta candles.
I'm sure there probably are somewhere, and I would not put them in our room. I'd put them in the kitchen because I want the smell of food to just stay in the kitchen. So
how are you going to prevent the aroma from exiting the kitchen and finding its way? Because the aromas like to follow people, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, don't you want to smell me? And they're going to sneak in under the door. And while we're sleeping, we're going to have like chuleta dreams.
I would still close the doors then if I had a candle that was a chuleta scent.
Have you ever dreamt of food?
Yeah.
Like, you had food dreams?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what's been a food dream you've had?
Like that my mom cooked like something that I really like.
Notice how you had a dream of your mother cooking and not of yourself cooking.
No.
Because this is work. Look at you.
That's a lot of work. And, I've come a long way in the kitchen because I used to feel very clumsy in the kitchen. And I still sometimes do. Like I look at the way I hold the knife.
Now, I noticed you weren't using gloves.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not very sanitary, because I saw Yari was using gloves.
She's a professional.
Yeah.
Ella tiene que darle comida al público. Yo solamente hago comida for you and me.
Si yo me enfermo,
Allá
whatever.
tú.
Yeah, allá me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yo te lo voy a pegar a ti. Okay, so what's going on here? Because this is a lot of steps.
I'm prepping the pork. So it was the poblano pepper with some onion, and then we put the pork in, and we seasoned it with a little salt and pepper, some chili powder, some
This
tomato
just
paste.
feels like you're feeding like a family of 10 for Thanksgiving. This is how elaborate this feels.
I don't think I could handle a Thanksgiving dinner. This is a lot for me. Like this is.
And it's just me and you.
I know.
It's just look at you still working.
See, reduce fat, sour cream. Those are the changes you have to make. And instead of oil, a lot of the times I just use the Pam spray because it has no fat in it, and it cooks your vegetables just as well. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of unnecessary fats that we're eating, and carbohydrates.
And this is just for tacos. Look at how many bowls do you go through?
I use a lot of bowls.
And I know this because when I wash dishes, I'm like, how many meals did you make?
Sometimes I try to wash them as I go, but other times I'm just like, forget it. Just dump them all in the sink. He'll wash them.
Look at that face. Mira esa cara. Mira esa cara.
It's intense.
Esa cara. That's concentration. Oh.
But look, they were so yummy.
Look at that. That's professional. Eso es para dárselo a un waiter, right? And you could like present it. That could be in like a food magazine. Look at that.
Really?
What's the official name of that?
Pork poblano tacos.
Pork poblano tacos just doesn't sound right for all the work you did. I mean, you closed bedroom doors for that. ¿Me entiende? So that's got to have, give me another name for that. More, you got to make it more, it's got to have pizzazz. What would you give it?
I don't know. Mama's tacos?
Mama's tacos. Right. We're getting there. That's not quite it. We're on our way. How about just La Doctora's healthy tacos?
There you go.
Now, why 3? Why couldn't I get 6? Because, by the way, 3, that was like an appetizer.
Those were stuffed. Those were humongous tacos.
Let's not go all out and go humongous, porque ya está exagerando un chin chin. Those were decent, okay? Because look at the candle in the back. Esa candle es así nada más. So these weren't like jumbo.
So you only got 3 because the HelloFresh pack only brings 6 tortillas and we don't have extra tortillas.
So would it have been healthy if I had eaten mine and yours? Or like, is that like, oh my God, that's ridiculous.
Not your portion. You're eating 2 servings.
So
one serving, that how they calculate their calories and everything are the 3 tacos. And I know
who decided that 3 was enough for me is what I'm saying.
HelloFresh did.
But do they know like my height? Do they know my weight? Do they know my ethnicity? Do they know that like as a Puerto Rican, as a Latino, 3 tacos is like, okay, that's a good beginning.
For me, 3 to 4 tacos is good. Like I with 4 tacos, ya me lleno.
Okay, but you said 4, babe. So 3 is not a good number for us.
No, I think 3 was a great number. And
3 is like, that's like what you eat while mommy's making dinner, right? Like you go, okay, me gustaron los tacos. What else you got? Oh, arroz con gandules. Bet. Oh, pernil. What? ¿Me entiendes? Like, that's just to get your appetite going.
Yeah.
And then you have the real meal.
Se ven tan bueno. I want some more now.
See?
Tengo hambre.
Because they're like light, but they're not too heavy, right? Como que te dejan con gana.
Another thing I would have changed maybe in those tacos is because the HelloFresh gives you flour tortillas, and I don't like flour tortillas. I like the corn tortillas, which are healthier.
I like the way you say tortillas because it is a Mexican food, and you say it with like a Mexican accent. I like the flour tortillas. Can you do that again? Because
I like the flour Now I like the flour tortillas because they're healthier.
So you like the healthy flour tortillas?
Yeah.
As opposed to the wheat tortillas?
The flour.
As opposed to what?
The flour tortillas.
Are better than what?
No, the corn tortillas are better than the flour tortillas.
What about the wheat tortillas?
I don't think I've ever had wheat tortillas.
You haven't had the wheat tortillas?
No.
See, I can say tortillas. Tortillas. ¿Quieren tortillas? A ella le gustan las
A mí
tortillas.
me encantan las tortillas.
So what about doing the Taco Bell, crunchy gordita, where they have the tortilla afuera with the hard shell adentro,
That is our weakness.
right?
We
The cheesy
haven't-
gordita, and we could put like crema in between both shells.
We
Why
haven't
couldn't
had
you-
one in a while.
Why couldn't you do that with that one? Give me a little cheesy gordita. That's like my,
I don't know. Oh, I guess I could. You could do the flour one on the outside and then a crunchy one. But I didn't grow up eating crunchy tortillas.
You didn't grow up with Taco Bell. I grew up with Taco Bell. I grew up with Taco Maker in Puerto Rico.
No, I grew up with mommy's homemade tacos.
Ah.
The ground beef.
She didn't make tortillas.
No, she didn't make tortillas.
Maybe next time you make La Doctora's amazing pork poblano tacos,
Yes.
maybe I could have a couple of cheesy gorditas from Taco Bell while I wait.
Hola, soy Yvette Peña de AARP. El coronavirus continúa afectando a nuestra comunidad, pero recuerda que AARP está aquí para apoyarte. Te brindamos información confiable de expertos en salud, compartiendo herramientas para protegerte a ti y a tu familia del fraude y creando recursos para apoyar a los cuidadores familiares. Puedes contar con AARP. Juntos saldremos adelante. Conéctate a aarp.org/el coronavirus.
Hi, my name is José Rodriguez, and I've had problems with weight loss my entire life. In 2014, after not fitting in a roller coaster ride, I decided to start eating healthy and exercising more. And after 2 years, I had lost 130 pounds. Unfortunately, after multiple deaths in my family and a really good friend dying, and me getting cancer in my right kidney, I gained 108 of those pounds back. See, the three things that helped me out the most in losing my weight was, number one, the food. I needed to make sure that my food was all prepped and ready to go. I needed to make sure that my snacks were prepped and ready to go. And I needed to not deprive myself of any food, but instead to focus on portion control. Number two was journaling. I needed to make sure that I kept track of everything. Like that I could see my progress, and at the same time, if anything that I needed to fix or adjust. And number three, exercising. I needed to make sure that I exercised daily, even if it was just 15 minutes. So now that I'm armed with all this weight loss knowledge, and I know that I myself am an emotional eater, I've decided to start back, and I'm proud to say that I've lost 25 pounds. Pa'lante.
Okay, so this is too good, right? So I gotta hear from Jose. So let's call Jose up right now. This will be good. All right. Calling up Jose because I've got some questions. That was a great video.
Yo.
All right, we're talking with Jose Rodriguez. Pa, I just showed your video.
Okay.
Where you admitted to being an emotional eater.
Yes.
So,
And that's like happy emotion, sad emotion. It doesn't matter. Any emotion.
so congratulations, I guess, on all that weight you lost. But my condolences, I guess, for having gained it back.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I love the emotional eating thing because I've never heard of that. It sounds like it's an easy kind of way out, doesn't it?
No, that's just, those are the triggers. Like whenever I get happy, food becomes my comfort. Whenever I get sad, food becomes my comfort. If I'm angry, food becomes my comfort. I had to find a different avenue to comfort me emotionally rather than food.
So you basically have to be like unemotional?
Yeah, I have to be emotionless.
Emotionless. I would use this all the time though. Like if I had a coworker or even my wife, I could be like, "Hey, don't stress me out because you don't want me to gain weight."
Exactly. That's what I tell the wife. Lisette all the time. It's like, don't give me stress because I don't want to gain the weight back.
Don't give me stress. Or I'm gonna hit that cake. You want me to hit that? I will go out and get cake and eat it. Okay, because we're arguing too much. I mean, you could literally have your cake and eat it too. But shouldn't you at least be able to keep the good emotional eating? You don't want to eat emotionless all the time.
But you should, because technically another thing I've learned is that food should only be for fuel. It's like it should fuel our body. We shouldn't take any emotion into eating.
Oh, okay. So eating should be boring is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just pumping. Like when you pump gas into your car, do you have any emotion when you're pumping gas?
No, but the car does. I'm sure the car's happy. I'm sure the car's whistling some kind of tune I can't hear with my human ears.
No, the car's just sitting there. That's the way we need to be. Just sit there, relax, enjoy the intake.
Well, you know what? Eating now is boring, obviously. I get it because, we're in training. But at least we have the memories of our past, right? When we would eat happy, right?
Oh, yeah.
When we would overeat happy and then feel miserable, but then not really care.
Right. When I could eat golden Oreos and not care about it.
When I could eat mommy's flan and not have to share with anybody else in the family.
Oh, yes. When I can eat a whole carrot cake and not brindarle a nobody.
Carrot cake? No.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
No, that's emotionless eating for me. Hey, thanks for being a part of the show, brother.
Thank you.
Bye.
So happy. So happy. Emotions. Happiness. Pure joy.
That was fun. And we've learned a lot, right? So we learned that I guess to eat healthy, right, is to cook healthy. And cooking healthy is a lot of work, but it's worth it, right? Because we have to start thinking, ahead. We don't have that same metabolism we used to have when we were younger. And so we got to start thinking serving size, right? We got to start thinking, with less emotions and just eating like we're pumping fuel into the car. Mi gente, I hope you've enjoyed Juntos with Eli Castro, brought to you by AARP. For more information, you can always go to elicastro.com to learn more about my shows, my weekly podcast, and tune in for the next show of Juntos with Eli Castro, brought to you by AARP.